up, everybody? What's going on? How am I sounding? What's going on in the world? Missed you guys. It's been a while. I'm back, refreshed. Let's get into it. Some new stuff I'm gonna go over. It's gonna be a fun day. So yeah, give some shout outs real quick. Amet, Lord Samurai, Brian, Swiss Gabber, my main Zane, Brooklyn, what's up? Science Zero. What's going on, guys? How's everybody feeling today? I got the window open. You can hear the trucks backing up outside, but it's beautiful out, so I'm gonna leave it. It's baseball season. I'm excited about that. Let's go Mets. Mets play literally like a walk to where they play. Huge Mets fan. So and we had a good couple of days. We're gonna win the World Series this year. Say that every year. Sound a bit higher. Let's see. Can you hear me now? I don't want to turn it up too high. Let's fucking go. CVZ. Alright. I think Ryan might be streaming at the same time. I don't know. I gotta start coordinating with him. I thought he was playing golf. But how's everybody feeling? Spring, summer's coming. It's getting nice here in New York. I'm excited about that. And I'm excited about the next couple of weeks for markets, Bitcoin in general. So quickly, my thoughts are right now, I expected an up April, right? And I posted about this a couple of weeks ago. But the one thing that I did mention is that Bitcoin tends to front run traditional markets. So I think that big move that we got up to 48, I mean, there was some other stuff involved, kind of relief stuff from the war and, Russia's buying and all this other stuff. We had Duquan pumping up the market, right? But I think from here until, whatever, we're at 41 right now. But from here until early to mid-May, I think the market may surprise you. I think it's going to be up. I don't know how much up. I'm not saying back to 48. Playing it by the levels as we always do here. But I think that from where we are right now, by end of this month, early May, I think we'll be in the mid 40s. I think that's safe to say. Barring any exogenous events that I can't see, but rates are rising, right? The market's taking it pretty well. Rates are pretty damn high for, almost 3% on the 10-year. But markets can keep going despite that. We're in an inflationary environment. You have to buy inflationary assets. It takes time from the government implementing rate hikes and bringing down the balance sheet. It takes time for that stuff to start to affect companies' earnings, hit balance sheets, and really roil the markets. So my view is by mid-May, we have the rate hike that's coming. I think some of the effects from the last rate hike should start to trickle in. And then, after the rate hike in May, usually that's the time when market goes risk off. People kind of chill for the summer. So probably back down. How low? I don't know. We'll get into some levels in a second. But thanks for joining, guys. Sorry I was on my little hiatus, but I needed it. back fresh, better than ever. Got some new stuff to show you guys today. So let's get into it. Am I still sounding good? Just want to check, make sure. Somebody said I was low, so I turned myself up. Hope not too loud. All right, let's get into the charts. Okay, so charts look a little different. I added in some new things that I've been using. Probably the main thing that you notice are these volume candles. I find these super helpful on the lower time frames to determine when to get into trades. Instead of having volume down here, having the candles at the bottom, these colored candles basically tell me out of the last 20 candles printed, if it's more than 1.25% of the volume of the last 20 candles printed, it will color the candle. So that's what it is. You can see here. I'll show you on lower time frame how it really works. But let's look at Bitcoin, right? It was clear to me this morning to short 42. As you guys can see here, got my new drawing tool. I'm excited. So you can see here, right, going back here, this is the composite point of control going all the way back to, November, basically from the highs. So huge point of resistance, took the short, didn't think we would break up through that. But if you look at the composite, right, of the visible range, this is basically our range that we've been in for, months now, since December. So 4 months. So my buddy Ryan, or Cantering, as you know, he made a great comment a couple weeks ago, and he just basically said, like, the market isn't dead, right? It's just going to be ranging now. But the opportunity that you have of these huge ranges to play, there's so much money to be made, right? So we're basically doing this right now. And I think that it pretty much continues for a while. Going into the summer, we see these lows, for sure. I'm certain about it. We will see 35K again, probably by end of May, early June. I think we touched this. But it's all about playing the bigger range, and there's so much opportunity, so much profit to make. Yeah, you trade less, but your bag is still big at the end. That's what I plan on doing going into the summer. I don't plan on just sitting there scalping every day because there's going to be less and less opportunity for bigger moves during the summertime. So I'm going to try to play more of these bigger ranges more. That's just my personal thing. So, you can see here we have these huge levels of volume, these high volume nodes here, and down here. So this is the local high, and something like this, and up here like 44, right? Those are pretty much the ranges to play. That's how I'm going to be trading more often going into the ranging period that I'm expecting. So, but these are still nice plays. I mean, from 40 to 42, you break, up to 44. This holds. It's very clean cut, looking for your levels, waiting for your trade to come to you type of trading. So, I know people love to sit at the desk and try to catch every move, but I think this is going to be how to play it going into the lower vol, slower months. So, looking at this, right, basically at 42, basically here, and, I'm expecting we'll go lower time frame to see basically exactly but basically what I'm thinking right now is we pull back to eventually like the 4,800 level. So right about here, something like this. And hopefully that provides a bounce for higher, because I think for us to just break all the way down to these lows, we're going to have to see another equity breakdown. And I wouldn't really depend on that anytime soon. I think equities continue sideways to up over the next couple of weeks. That's just how I'm thinking. For Ron, everybody's going to have different value area highs and value area lows, strictly based on, strictly based on what you're looking at, right? If I move this is going to change. It's, if I go lower time frame, it's going to change. But so that's Bitcoin right now in a nutshell. So right now I'm thinking, something like this weekly VWAP here. And that's right on the bottom of this structure. That looks for a good place for a bounce. And then, you break below. I think that would probably just be short continuation to, somewhere around this mid-range area. So obviously, if we do come back up here, we tap, let's say we tap these highs again, and, something like this, and break, and then up. Or down here, this holds, and then up. Or breaks down, maybe here, something like that. So that's how I'm looking at BTC right now. In the, I guess, if we want to go lower time frame. So another thing in addition, on my lower time frame trading, I've switched from using just a visible range over here on this side, and there's a new indicator called the volume profile period. I don't know what the last V stands for, but anyway, I basically have this set to a week. Gives me my value area highs and lows, and great to make plays and position off of this. So I got my POC broke down. This is turning into resistance here. So now I'm looking towards something like this. You got the weekly VWAP, and it's has some confluence with yesterday's point of control. So see what happens if we get there, but holding my short for now. Break above this comp POC or this weekly point of control, and I'll probably cut it, but leaving it for now. So that's Bitcoin. That's really how I'm thinking about it. Big thoughts, bigger time frame. I gotta get used to using this new drawing tool. So anyway, that's Bitcoin. Take a look at ETH. All right. So, going back to, I guess, this is basically the profile for the year, daily profile for the year for ETH. And one thing I'm noticing, and I was going to bring this up later, is that, with Bitcoin being down at 42, alts look expensive to me, just based off of just going off of dominance. And I think the next move for Bitcoin, I don't think alts get the benefit that they got off of the move from 36-ish. I think that for us to, and going into a period where I'm assuming it's going to be pretty much risk off, I think that Bitcoin, and there's another reason also. So going into a risk off period, and also in addition to that, if there is going to be a play off of Bitcoin based off of my general market thoughts, my risk market thoughts, is institutions will play it, and I think that more money will be thrown towards BTC and like the larger L1 pairs than the small cap stuff. So, basically we get down below 41.5 of BTC dominance, and this is just how I look at altcoins as being expensive or cheap. They were cheap up here when Bitcoin was like 45% dominance, and down here, or I think they're pretty expensive. Break below here, even more expensive. So that's just how I'm looking at alts in general. Obviously, there are going to be pumps, everywhere. Ape is pumping today. I was looking at that last night, but didn't do it. So, looking at ETH, this is kind of the range, similar to the Bitcoin range that I was showing you earlier of, what we've been in for pretty much 4 months or more. So deviation above 34, but this is ultimately the range. So basically like 24 to 34, this $1,000 range is what I think will be the range that it plays out over the next couple of months. But right now, taking a look here, obviously you got this level here around 26, and hold on. Hold on 1 second, guys. Sorry, getting used to things. Give me 1 second. Hold up. What the fuck is this? Okay. Sorry about that. So anyway, let's do this again. 26. Highs here. I was trying to, I don't know what the hell this red line is, and I can't seem to make it go away. But disregard that. And again, ignore this one. I don't know what the hell it is. So, looking at ETH like this, these are kind of the ranges that I would go with. You know, break below these lows, probably around 28.5, possible bounce. But as you can see with ETH, you know, compared to Bitcoin, you have this huge gap here. Like, this is a huge gap that looks like it's dying to be filled, right? So below here, down to, you know, about 20, basically down to this 2600 level, below 3000, there's not a lot of volume. So that's something I would watch on ETH. The move up was aggressive, and I think the move down can be aggressive as well. So how I would play ETH is something like this. So this is our range right now, and you have, you know, basically this structure here. So, you know, you would hope with ETH you would definitely want 3000 to hold. You could see this huge wick right here that's probably dying to get filled at some point. So, you know, this was your short. I'll go lower time frame. We'll look at the mid range, but short, the play, it's already at weekly VWAP. So if it breaks below that, probably lower. And then you'd be looking for like 3K. 3K doesn't hold, then I'd be looking for somewhere around 2800. So this structure right here. So yeah, and then, you know, this doesn't hold 28, you're probably down to 26 pretty quickly. With ETH, break back above this 34 level, then, you know, you'd be looking for probably this naked point of control here. I don't know how to make that go away, and it's really pissing me off. But anyway, I could use that. So break back above here, you know, you get something like this. I probably look for the top of this structure here, and that'll probably be some serious resistance there. So right around 3,300, this naked point of control, something like that, right? Break below this weekly VWAP. So you want this to hold, so right around 3,000, like I said, or break below weekly VWAP, get something like that, and probably something like that. So that's basically the plays that I would take with ETH. You guys know I don't really trade ETH much, but if you want to, there it is. Thank you. That's what I would do. Okay, so that's ETH, that's BTC. I think I covered it all there. I'll show you on a lower time frame. So you definitely want this to hold right there, and I'd like to see a bounce here for continuation, or break below here, and then it's probably that if 3,000 doesn't hold, right? So that's ETH in a nutshell. Let's get into the TPOs and all the fun stuff. Let me check some questions. Sorry, I've been in the zone. I'm like, gotta get used to streaming all over again. It's been a minute. So what do we got? Yeah, Ferran, it all depends on input with the value area highs and lows. It all depends on your time frame, your tick settings. There's so many things that could change that. Low Lewis, remind me to go over near later. We do that at the end. Rodrigo, I think I explained to you my short trigger with BTC in terms of why I thought 42 was not going to work. It was basically ridiculous resistance. Ton of volume, composite POC for the last 4 months. You don't break that on the first try. Never. Okay. Swiss Gabber, I don't really play the meta tokens because I don't know, man. I'm not like, I don't really believe in the metaverse, to be honest. I know it will be a thing, but the things that I've seen and the projects that are out there, I think if we go into a bear market, those will get crushed. So, yeah, they have good weeks, but it's just like any other sector, right? DeFi, it's gonna pump. Meta, it will pump. In terms of buying for long-term holdings or something like that, never. No, not me. How do I set stop losses when I'm scalping in a range like this? I mean, I basically, my stops are tight in terms of if you were swing trading or something like that. If I'm scalping, my stop is never more than 1%. And a lot of times it's closer than that, to be honest. But yeah, scalping, the advantage to scalping is, I obviously scalp with a smaller position than I trade with. But the advantage to scalping is, you're just trying to get a pretty short move, on a low time frame chart. You could usually see it. So my stop is just basically a tail risk stop if, there's this huge wick that comes out of nowhere and takes me out. But usually when I get into a scalp, the momentum is started and I can put my stop pretty close. Hope that answers your question. All right, guys. So what I'm looking at, just one thing that the profile screams out to me right now is that wasn't the top. I'll tell you why in a second, but it just, tops don't, like local tops, they don't look like this. They don't look like this. That's not a true top that's going to reverse to the lows. So me personally, I'm thinking that was the first attempt, and like I said here, we have this naked point of control right here. So that's the area I'm watching. We could bounce straight up from here and go back up to the highs, but this would be the strongest level for a bounce to me, and that's right around 40,800. That's what I'm watching. That's what I want to see. I'd look for Asia, to kind of solidify this bottom if we don't push up before the day is over. So tops don't look like this. Tops look like what's called a P profile. So a top, I'm going to attempt to draw this, usually looks something like this at the top, right? Low volume, high volume at the top, and then just a trending move down. This isn't it. So I'm looking for lower here. Break below there. It's probably going back down, probably towards the lows. This 39.6 area has some potential, but you guys know how I do. I love the naked point of control. So we'll see what happens, but I just want to show you guys again why the TPO is the best. So zooming out, right? Look at that. See this, guys? This is it. This right here. And this right there. Right? So we had I believe this naked POC is from the 16th. So it's annoying how I can here we go. Yeah, so anyway, it keeps going away, but when you zoom out, which you always got to zoom out, right? Bigger picture. That's where a bounce happened, right? And as I told you before, like a P profile usually represents a top, like something like this. Now this is a profile that usually represents we're going down. So this profile right here, 3 days in balance, ton of volume here, and then down, right? And then naked POCs again. Always does the trick, guys. So that's what a top looks like. And then recently our recent bottom is pretty solid. So as I said, a P profile usually represents the change of a trend, and the B profile represents a change of the trend on the upside. So that's what we had. We broke these lows, came down, naked POC, ton of volume here. I didn't long it there. Woke up in the morning and we were still sitting here. POC, out of here. So like I said, what we have here, we're gonna need to get into balance, right? So right now we got volume, we got value there, We got value here. And we need this to balance out and kind of see where we end up. And then a breakdown below value is probably a short. And, you know, you guys already know the levels that I'm looking for to bounce. So let's do this. Oh my God. All right. This pen is totally different than the pen I'm used to using, and it is, I don't like it. Easier to draw with, but not intuitive. So anyway, if we merge these two profiles, this is what the last 2 days look like. So you could see for the last 2 days, right now we're at the point of control. So we could, you know, break above this 41.3, might move back up. But, you know, break below here. So you guys can see the bottom of this value area is 49. I told you 40 to 48. That's where I was looking for a bounce. So, we could go from here, could go back up, but if we continue down, I think something like this, you know, like a break below this value area and a reclaim, it's probably a nice trade if this doesn't go from, you know, something like that. We'll see. What's up, learner? What's going on, guys? So that's the TPO right now. Above us, you know, so basically like 42.7, 42.8, I'd watch. If we get back up to these highs, this becomes support at, you know, above 42.1. And then hopefully head back up to like this. Hoping that we could break this 42.8 pretty easily. I don't see that being very strong resistance. And ending up, you know, somewhere around here before the next leg, you know, to see if 42 holds as support for higher. Breaking straight through that would be nice, but Bitcoin hasn't been that strong lately. So that's what I'm looking at with the TPO. So looking here, you know, buyers were dominating these past 2 days, but the one thing that I was noticing is, you know, at the top here, so we moved up, positive delta on these last 2 days, right? Huge positive delta on this day, but not being able to break the 41.8 area. So it looked like it was getting a little weak, a little exhausted at the top. Consolidated for a bit before this push to 42.2 was exactly where I thought it would stop. So looking at today, a lot more sellers came out, profit taking. It is what it is, but you know, so you got basically this period point of control, yesterday's point of control, 47. I'm going to keep screaming that out. And right now we're at today's point of control. So either that holds as resistance, sends us back lower. You know, something like this would be good. Break here, it's probably down. That's what I'm thinking. And then the highs are the highs, right? So, and again, looking back, same thing with the TPO chart, looking at the volume profile, it's easy to see that this was a strong area to long. So, down here, imbalances at the lows, and, barely any sellers below 34.5. Push up, strong volume here. Strong volume here. Heavy volume, buy volume above the POC. That's what sent us, right? All right. So, that's that. Think I'm good with the futures stuff. Let's take a look at this. So, open interest, pretty flat. Understandably, a lot of new shorts opened, and some buys getting liquidated. But one thing that I noticed, when we were at these lows, looking here, you could see that we had negative funding throughout this whole range down here. And that was the push up. We still had negative funding here at these highs. Right? And couldn't manage to push up. Another sign that we're overextended and probably going down. So I have to figure out there has to be a way where I could just clear all the drawings. I'm using this new Epic pen, and it only lets me undo one thing at a time, and I don't really like it. But anyway, it draws a lot smoother. So, Palav, you said single print. So, someone mentioned this to me earlier, and I don't see. Oh, shucks. I don't see a single print. Maybe I am wrong. Okay. So someone said that there was a single print at 42, and I don't see it. No single prints in here. So it and also it depends on your setting. So the standard that most people use is, I don't know, I wouldn't say industry standard. When it comes to a TPO, you want to have 30-minute candles. If you have a single print, you probably have it on a 15-minute candle setting, or something like that, because no single prints here, my man. Single print at 40K. Nope. You got right here between 39.9 and 42. You had two, half-hour periods. So that's the definition of a single print to me. So no single print. Yeah, Ferran, I gotta find out how to do it. I'm gonna ask my buddy Ryan when I get off of here because I know there has to be a way to do it. It's annoying me right now. But anyway, no reason to be annoyed because I'm up. So I think I pretty much covered everything I wanted to cover with regards to Bitcoin and ETH, futures, funding. Um, let's see here. One thing I was noticing yesterday was in the like last night as perps were trying to pump when we were consolidating, there was no spot bid. Um, you can see here, right? So no spot bid. Perps were trying to push, and then I wake up this morning, and there is a huge spot bid, right? And obviously profit taking commenced. But that was something I noticed last night. I almost closed out looking at that, but I decided to hold for my TP, and it touched. So fantastic. All right, guys. So all of that out of the way. Any questions? Yeah. 83 Madden. When you're talking about single prints. Oh yeah, single print on a 1 hour. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't use a 1 hour. When it comes to TPO, 30 minutes is definitely better. Higher time frame. Let me kind of show you what that looks like. It changes the look of everything, and I don't think that it represents what I am trying to accomplish. So yeah, if you use a 1 hour, you have a single print here. This profile to me is chunky and doesn't provide enough. It's too high time frame for my trading. If you are a high time frame trader, maybe this works for you. I just prefer the 30-minute. Everybody has their own preference. But yeah, if you use a higher time frame, you're gonna have single prints in different areas. Most people I know, like, I'd probably say over 75% of the people that I know that use TPO use a 30-minute chart. So you can see no single print, 30 minutes. All right. So into the charts. What do you guys want to talk about? Somebody asked about near. I'll do near because near is near and dear to my heart. See what I did there? Made it funny. So near would have been a awesome long right here off of weekly VWAP, 1650. And you know what? I think my bids were filled. So I am in this trade. Fantastic. So I was saying, I said on Twitter early in the week that, break above this 17 area. You want to see, I wanted to see a break above this area. And this to turn to support to aim for that up there. But I also had bids here at the weekly VWAP. So nice bounce. I'm in that long. Fantastic. So looking at near, let's go a. Let's get a little bit more granular here. Let me look at near on this chart. Okay, so you guys know I usually trade off the 15-minute chart, and you can see weekly. This is the weekly profile.
Here's your reminder from my date.
Sorry, Alexa. So as you can see here, weekly value area high.
I'm not sure what town or city you're near to.
Oh God, I gotta remember to turn that off. Anyway, so looking at this, right? You got your value area up here, bouncing off the value area low, right at the weekly VWAP. Fantastic long. Obviously, if Bitcoin holds up, right now holding above composite point of control, but you know, I'd like to see this VWAP break. If I wasn't long, I would try to see a close up here. Break below this value area low. I think that's a lovely short. Below 1650 is probably a short for near. That's definitely a good trade. Break above 1780, right? Let's look here. You know, so break above there. Right now, this is the range. So break above here and hold. Probably good to like 19, probably higher. If this breaks, you know, I could see near putting in an all-time high. It's just been super strong lately. Break here, something like that probably. But yeah, I wouldn't want to play in this middle area here, this middle ground. So break below 1650, I think it's a short. Break above VWAP and hold, probably attempt back for these highs up here. You know, higher time frame. You know, right around $15. Looks solid. This area here has become pretty good support. And like I said, above here, it's go time for sure. So that's near. That's how I'm looking at it. Break below 1650, probably lower. Either look for this point of control around 1550 or $15. Break below there. It's going way down. All right. What else? GMT, please. All right. Altcoins. The super pumpers. Do I have GMT on here? I might have it. Haven't played this one yet. To be honest, it's volatility is scary. I'm gonna look at the perp. Oh wow. Okay. All right, I'll do ape. I'll do FXF. I always can't say that one. FXS, and then that's all the alts I'm gonna do for the day. Okay, taking a look at GMT. Where are we at? Okay, so shorting up here may have been a good play if you haven't been in this already. But I mean, this thing is just doing backflips. If I were to want to get involved here, um, obviously, obviously, I would look for weekly VWAP. So something like this. Confluence right there around 326. Trading in this range up here. So basically like 315 to 375. So, you know, anywhere here, you got the bottom of this structure here. So right around that 315 area, I would want to see that little area hold. So something like that. This should be a demand zone. Up here, breaking above, flipping 375 into support. You know, could be a trade, but this thing is super extended. I wouldn't be buying like breakouts of this. That's just me. Some people like to live on the wild side. That's all good. Now break below this 318, 315 area, this value area. I mean, look at where we came from. That can be a serious short. So, you know, something like this, come from this underside, this turn to resistance. You got this point of control here. May provide some support, but probably not. You know, that this is something that I think can still break down, even though there's all this hype around it. You know, I would much rather be playing 8 personally if I was going to go that route. But yeah, you know, that's my thoughts here. You know, maybe you got the point of control here, 342, but I think a more solid trade, especially when it comes to alts, is you want to see weekly VWAP hold. Because you break weekly VWAP on something that moves like this, it's usually down. But yeah, I mean, this is your bigger range. So, you know, break below $3, you're back in this range. Probably, you know, trade it down to $2. I don't know. Obviously, Bitcoin would have to break down. Me personally, like, I don't even know what all the hype is about this one. You guys can share if you want, but it's pumping. It's making a lot of people money, but like, I don't know why. I would love, like, I got to do some research and find out what is behind this. So yeah, I mean, look at these weekly ranges. Like, this is from 77 cents to $3, $4. Now, eventually, all of this, this gets filled in my opinion. Like, this is, look at this gap. Whew, yeah. So, I don't know. Dangerous game. Trying to buy this up here. I wouldn't be buying this for more up. I'd be looking to short it personally. So that's GMT. We'll do Ape next. Ape is pumping. Yeah. So another thing that has moved so substantially that like I would not try to buy this up here. It can keep going, but I would not try to buy this. So this was the big break, right? Breaking above basically 1450. That was the move. That was the breakout trade. And now it's price discovery mode, and you gotta let it settle. I would not buy a structure like this. That's me. I definitely wouldn't sell this either. So when it comes to an entry, what you definitely want to see is, something like this back down to the top of this value area and then a move up. That looks like a good trade to me. So around 1436. But yeah, I would not touch this in terms of longing up here. Break below this 1436 and it's probably a decent short, probably back to somewhere around here, so like $13, or this comp POC down here at $12. That's my thoughts on Ape. Where I think it could go, I have no idea. Obviously, look for the highs that are put in already at 17. But, looking lower time frame, this is your support, your current support for this range here. Break below this 1560 area. It's probably good for a short, or if you are looking a long. Weekly VWAP. You guys know how I feel about weekly VWAP. It's always a level that's worth looking at. If it holds, it usually gives you a decent bounce. But yeah, I mean, that's my thoughts. Looking lower, like I said, you have, this comp POC right here at like 1220. That's your strongest level. And right there around $13. But this was a breakout trade, guys. So as you can see, there is nothing really holding this up below that level. So could be a decent short back down to 13 if this breaks. Obviously everything depending on the big orange coin. But yeah. These are the levels if I was playing Ape. Obviously the lows around $11 on this composite here, but 11, 12, 13. It's not really that hard to see. The structures are forming very cleanly, and I would love to trade off of this. I mean, this was a solid consolidation to a break. That was a serious move right there. Congrats to anyone who was on it. Yeah, MC, I know it's a fitness app, dude, but like, what is it? Like, it's a fitness app that's on the blockchain. It's like, I've heard that one before. It's like, okay, so it's like a Fitbit on the blockchain? Like what is it? Is it like the Peloton app or their workouts? Like what is it? You're tracking your steps on the blockchain? It sounds to me like something that I am going to have fun shorting the hell out of it at some point. So Charles Halliford, how do I show delta on the daily profile? Peace out, Aaron. Take it easy, bro. Brian, you asked, what does it mean when spot CVD is different than perp CVD? If spot CVD is going up, more than perp CVD, that means that there's a spot bid. Usually a spot bid is a stronger bid. It usually has more legs to it, right? And vice versa. So if perps are pushing price, chances are it's that means that leverage is pushing price, and you don't want to see leverage pushing price. You want to see spot pushing price, and perps following it, and then leverage taking over to push price further. If you get me, right? That is how I look at CVD. So when I'm seeing perps selling like crazy, but the spot bid is going up, I'm looking for the perp sellers who are selling on leverage to get run over by the actual spot buyers, creating a squeeze. So that's how you interpret CVD. That's kind of like a high level explanation of why I look at perp CVD and spot CVD. So sure, I will show you my settings, Ramani. Yeah, this is new. It literally just came out on TradingView. So somebody in the Discord, if you guys aren't in the Discord, definitely join the Discord. The link is in the description of the video. And it is brand new, and I love it. So, obviously when I'm looking at my high time frame trading levels, I want to be looking at something like a visible range. But when I'm trading low time frame for my regular trades, so Ape is holding, right now, holding above VWAP. Point of control here. Another push towards the highs. If I was long, I'd hold on. Hodl. So, where am I? Settings. VPPV. All right. So, here are my settings. 68 volume area. Slightly less than 1 standard deviation. You guys know how I do it. Number of rows I have set to 50. You could change it to make it as granular as you want. 50 usually works for me. I adjust it depending on how big the range is. Extend POC right, extend value area right, extend value area high, value area low right. And you pick your colors or whatever you want, but it's pretty awesome. A cool thing about this is what I like to do sometimes. If you turn on developing value area, it's pretty cool. It prints like this Bollinger Band type thing. So as value develops as the day goes on, as prices move, blah blah blah. But you can actually look back and see what it looked like previously, before, because you're like, okay, I'm looking at the value area, and right now it's between 42.2 and 41.45. But where was it yesterday? Where was it at the lows, right? So it's cool. It's like here down at the lows, when we were down here, the point of control was down here, like 38.9. Woke up, we broke out of the value area and started creating new value up here. So I don't really leave this on, but it's pretty cool to look at, and you can catch some sweet trades off of it sometimes. But yeah, so there's my settings. I toggle this on and off. You could toggle the developing POC on and off, but it's pretty sweet for the trading style that I plan to adopt over the next couple of months. So I promised FXX, FXS, and then we're gonna peace out. Probably gonna close out my short. All right. Okay. So I'm looking at Binance right now, but I'll change that later. But let's look at where we are. So basically, this is our April range here, and that was obviously, if you got in down here at like $25, that would have been lovely. But I personally didn't like how structure was looking because there was really no support. But breaking above this 29 area, now this is our new value area that we're trading in up here. Highest point of volume right now is currently at it, so serious resistance here. Oh man, they're going nuts on the horns today. Love it. Welcome to New York City. So, at a serious point of resistance right here, 35.3. But flip this, I think you go back up to at least these highs. So 37, 38 area. You can see that's where we pulled back. That would have been a great place to catch a short. But weekly VWAP has confluence with this point of control here around 33.50. So I would look for that as an area for a bounce for a potential long. So something like this. This is kind of the range that we're in. And, top of this structure here. So looking back out of this whole, kind of range, there's kind of a deviation down here. So this is what we're playing right now. So 31.1, basically $31. Break below here at 33.8. I think that would be a good, break and hold below here. I think that would be a good short to there. Not a lot of volume here in this area. Now if this holds or come down here, you know, something like this and something like that. Break 31, probably lower, but those are my major levels right now. That's what I'd be looking at when it comes to FXS. Jesus. All right. So just wanted to go get a little bit more granular here. So yeah, I mean, going back to, you know, early April, this is the range that we've been trading in. Now we're above value, and I really like the confluence between that weekly VWAP and this value area high. I think a bounce here, more up. Break here, probably down to like, you know, $30, like 31 to $30 is probably where a short will get you, because not a lot of volume here on this move up. That's what I'd be looking at with FXS, right? And obviously higher, you know, you'd be looking for 38 just about. So you got these highs, which we took out. Then this naked POC up here, break $41, probably price discovery with this guy. Break below 31, no good. This is, that's how I'd be playing it right now. So yeah, break below here, probably a good short. Weekly VWAP doesn't hold. This holds, as you can see, it's going right now. Probably good for these highs again. Naked POC. Short, long. All right. Cool. Will James, my CVD, I get my CVD from, I get my CVD from XO. So somebody was asking about on the footprint how I get delta. I saw that mentioned earlier. So this is called the delta profile, right? You can do a volume profile, you can do a delta profile, you can do delta clusters, delta ladder. So you just gotta, like, when it comes to using XO, it's like you're always gonna be changing. You're always gonna be playing around with things and learning new things, and XO is something that you never perfect and you get it right. You're always changing it depending on how the market changes. So yeah, that answers that. CVD, you asked about CVD. My CVD I get from, you know, I have footprint statistics down here. CVD, delta, volume, point of control, right? You could add delta bars, open interest. But yeah, CVD, I get my CVD from a lot of different things. I get my CVD from Trading Light. I get my CVD from here. I get my CVD from ton of pretty much every aspect of every platform I use has some type of CVD. You can get CVD on TradingView. I don't like it. I don't prefer it. But there are some good free ones out there that you could get. But I prefer to get it from here. That's just me. All right. So I showed the settings. Welcome back. Will James, what's up? Buy NFT stickers and run with it and get rewards. That is, wow. I don't know. Still just sounds like the hypiest thing that's going to, like, I was around in like 2017 when, when like an altcoin would come out and it would be like, oh, this is DentaCoin. It's going to be the coin that all dentists use. And it's going to be, all dentists will be using it. And it's going to be this huge thing. And it's just like, when I see projects like this, I'm just like, okay, super hype around it. But valuation it's getting up there. And it's just like, I don't know. Like, is this going to be a top 20 coin? Because people run with it. And they have NFT stickers. I don't know. Who am I? I'm just a dude. I'm just a dude on the internet trying to teach my homies how to get paid. But anyway, I think I'm good. I think we're good. Yeah, Will James, CVD candlestick. Nah, that's not what you want, bro. That's not what you want at all. If you let me go into one more thing. So, something like this on a footprint chart is a good way to get your running cumulative running cumulative CVD, your delta. This is what I usually have up here. Super helpful. But yeah, there's a million CVD indicators. I like, when it comes to CVD divergences, I like to look at Trading Light for that. I don't want to go over Trading Light today. We're already at an hour and a half, but I like the Trading Light indicator for seeing a running chart of CVD. But you can get that on here as well. Anyway, good to be back. Making some money. Couple of good trades going. Gonna try. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it. We usually do like beginning of the week and end. I don't know if Friday's gonna work out, but we'll see. Stay tuned. Like, subscribe, all of that. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you. And I'll see you soon, guys. All right? Holla.